Hey everyone, welcome to the Sanctum. This is Ale, and today we're going to go over the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. And actually, what's interesting is that Howard David Johnson is the one who does the illustrations, and actually Radleigh Valentine is actually taking over all the tarot. Anything that's not necessarily angel only oriented or uplifting, positive, spirited wise from Doreen. That whole thing is whatever. I'm not going to get into it. I've probably, if you know me personally, you probably have heard my little comments and my thoughts on this, but I wanted to go into this particular deck because a friend of mine is getting this for Christmas for her Yule gift. I gave her actually a Marseille tarot deck, which is absolutely awesome. And it's funny because I'm not a huge Marseille fan. I like them, don't get me wrong. And this is the book, by the way. But I wanted to give her another deck that she could actually look at the cards and get a idea of the meaning, besides looking at the deck and looking up meanings too. So thus my compromise, and I know she likes the fairy cards. I know this from the other decks that I bring to work. And she takes any of my decks and uses them throughout the day. The only one that she hasn't been able to touch much is my Spirit Keepers. I think I let her use it once, for a half an hour, and I'm like, all right, give it back. That's enough touching. And so the next time that it comes out, you can order your own. So again, the information in the book, as I said, is just like everything. It goes through what the suits are, the suit of summer, what it does, and that's the interesting thing. Instead of regular suits that we're used to, they do the suits of the seasons, which I actually kind of like. I think that is a unique way of looking at it, and more importantly, it works. It's a great way, and I love, look at that back. That is awesome, by the way. I love the Fae. I really do. I'm very much Fae. And I wanted to go over it because, and look at those colors, just the color borders for each section, the major and then the minors. And I wanted to go over it because for certain aspects I don't like it because it looks like some of the cards are not trimmed just perfectly, or it may be just that to fit everything they kind of didn't plane it right, but at the same time too, it's gorgeous. So we have the Dreamer, which I like a lot of these cards. Are very beautiful. They're very inspiring. The Magician, which I have to admit, I'm tending towards calling the Magician the Sorcerer. Yes, I'm a Doctor Strange fan. Deal with it. It's going to come up over the next few videos. Really, honestly, deal with it. It's not going to stop. The Hierophant. The Empress. Now, this is the card that I usually use as a significator card. And this particular card, I want this card forever. I like it. I like it a lot. It is actually quite it's beautiful, but at the same time too, it gives it all in one shot with that card. I love it. You have the Emperor, and this is the World. The Renewal. So some things don't have the same meaning as others. They have Star, then they have life experience, and instead of Death they have Ego. They have Balance, Release, So the Hanged Man, it's awakening with the yin and yang symbol, which I actually kind of like. I like that kind of a different name for it. And then like the 5th card is Unity. So overall, I can definitely tell you that I do like the way that the deck is set up for. Now, when it comes to these, I'm just going to show you, like Winter, King of Winter. You know, see how it's cut up across the top, very kind of fine. They could have like lowered it a little bit and smushed it, or like reset the picture down slightly, or cut, you know, they could have done something different. Queen of Winter, the Prince of Winter, and instead of a page they have the princess, which I think is actually also quite nice when it comes to the balance of feminine energy and male energy. So definitely one of those ones where I actually kind of like the whole concept of. I also like the fact that they put the Winter as a deep blue. It kind of it flows for me. Now the one that doesn't flow right for me, which I'm still kind of irked about, and the more I look at it, the more I get irked, is Spring. Spring, they have is this red color. To me, that red color is autumn. It's the way the colors on the trees go in the autumn. King and the Queen. Now this one, I love the Two of Spring. The Two of Spring here. Now I know one of the things they did was they did try to keep the colors to be somewhat similar to how you would look at certain decks as for emotion, etc., etc., etc. But still, no. So autumn is green, and I'm like, no. If you're gonna go by color, if you're gonna like go by different things, even I don't care if you are going to sit there and take that aspect of pentacles and cups and wands and swords, put it to whatever you're going to do. I don't care about the color. Make the color match whatever you're using. I'm finicky like that. That's the artist in me that can only draw stick figures, occasionally doodle faces. I am, and I have learned that I can actually create some stuff. I'm learning how to manipulate pictures and stuff. I'm so happy about myself with that. And this is Summer, which I actually like. This is a different blue. It's like more like a it's not quite teal. It's more of that, not quite cobalt, but pretty close. And I like it. I actually like the aspects of it. Where's the card for this one, for the Summer one that I wanted to show you? It's actually a really good one. See, the 6 gets cut off a little bit, but look at the 6 of Cups, how it looks, the 6 of Summer. And it talks about how children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past. And so technically this 6 of Summer, I want to say it's not 6 of Cups. I would say maybe it's 6 of Wands. I'd have to relook. I can tell you what deck it is, what thing it is in my deck I'm creating. But I can't tell you what that deck is about yet because I don't have permission to. So I'm going to have to like just be really mean and miserable like right now about that. So I apologize ahead of time for basically getting y'all excited for nothing. But yeah, I'm in the middle of creating a deck with a friend of mine, Peggy, and we're trying to get permission for a specific thing regarding the deck, art-wise. And if we can get it, then once we get everything up and going, we'll see about sharing stuff. All I can tell you is that we are beyond excited. We're almost all the pictures are done for the deck, except for 1 or 2 that are being a pain in the butt. We're not going to name names, but he and he know who they are. And she know who they are. The other one is the other thing that we're doing is we're like halfway through the writing, and then I'm also in the middle of trying to do a couple of screen treatments right now. And so yeah, life is going good. I'm like busy beyond compare, and I have no life. So it's all good. So we're going to do a little quick reading here for the Fairy Tarot. Basically what I'm going to do for this is, my goal is, what do we need to know for what's coming up for the week? Just what do we need to know? Is there anything in particular that we ourselves need to know about what's coming up for the week? Alright. So, Princess of Spring, Queen of Autumn, and Queen of Summer. Really, people? Seriously? Alright, we're going to go with it. Spring, autumn, and summer. So, obviously, we got some stuff we need to do. So, let's talk. So, for the Princess of Spring, it talks about, all about that is expanding our horizons, taking a lighthearted approach, exploring what fascinates you, being fearless, staying focused. It is all about exhilaration, being excited, because remember, princesses are the pages, so they're all about being creative and wanting to try everything, being optimistic and go, go, go. I don't know why they want to keep going like that. To me, I'm like ready for a nap. That's the way I am. But that's how they look at stuff. And that's a good thing. So that's something we want to look forward to for the week. So we're going to get a boost of energy, which is awesome to know that that's coming. And I'll be honest with you, I can really, really use the boost of energy right about now. The other thing to look at is that we're looking at the Queen of Autumn. Now, the Queen of Autumn is all going to be, actually, that's one of the better benefits of the Queen of Autumn, is that she's all about the ability to make anything more beautiful. She's sensible. She's a good parent type. So she's always the one that's going to be the one that nurtures you. She's going to be the person who, and it could be a he, it could be a she. It's the person who is like a fairy godmother. The person who cares about everyone, swoops in, saves the day, generous and loving to a fault. They make beautiful, luxurious things. They're the one that gives to you all the time. They're the one that gets you out of the funk that you get into. That person is going to be obviously touching base with you this week. And for good reason. You're going to have a moment where you're going to have some doubts, and you're really going to feel like, well, shit. What am I going to deal with? How am I going to handle this, this nonsense? And you're going to start wondering if you're doing the right thing. And they're going to come in and not necessarily save the day. They're not going to rescue you out of the blue, but they're going to give you the words of wisdom, the information, the energy you need to get yourself back on track. And that's going to be super important, because when the Queen of Summer shows up at that point, it's a close and trusted friend who is somebody who always protects anyone who needs assistance. They remind you about giving and receiving. They're about being a spiritual teacher. They're about the person who always radiates love and peace in your life. They are the person that when you sit next to, you always relax. I have a friend like that when I'm with them, they are the epitome of like, sit back, relax, and like, I'm out like a light. And I don't sleep easy. I don't take naps. But when I'm around them, I'm like, I have no idea, but I'm suddenly tired. And she pats my head, and she's like, it's okay, lay against me, it's all right. And I can tell her anything to a point. There's some stuff I don't talk to her about, but it's because she's such a peaceful person. There's some stuff in this universe she doesn't need to deal with. But she makes me feel peaceful. She radiates this peace and love and joy. It's amazing. I get told I do that too, but I really don't think I am. I'm more the person that picks up a sword and beats the hell out of people. I really am. I'm not joking. So yeah. be optimistic. Be that person. Know that your person who you rely on is going to be there for you this week. Know that that person who is also a spiritual teacher, the one that radiates peace and love, is going to be there for you. And you may actually be that person for somebody else. It's not always about that other person. Sometimes you are that other person. It's also, sometimes it's that self-reflection part. But be joyful. Be inquisitive. Be ready to take a chance. Sometimes we don't take chances that we mean to do. So yeah, do it. This deck I actually do like. Like I said, it is something that I would recommend to anybody getting a copy while you can. Especially since Radleigh Valentine is taking over the deck. It's nice to see. So if you can get it, I actually got it on sale, which was great. But definitely, if you like fairies, if you want an easy to understand tarot that's a little bit different, just to get acclimated to the concept of tarot, especially if you don't like the RWS or the Thoth, but you want something that is tarot, that follows the tarot format, this is a great start, honestly. I would rate this at least a good 7 out of 10 for you. For those who struggle with the tarot, this is definitely more of a 8.5, 9 out of a 10. Definitely you can be very intuitive with this deck. Okay, until next time. Bendithian.